embark on a captivating journey that challenges our very understanding of reality. For centuries, humanity has striven to unravel the enigmas of the past, pondering the lives of monumental figures and pivotal events. We will delve into a mystery far more profound, one that probes the very core of our convictions. What if the most significant archaeological revelation of our era holds the key to reshaping our perception of early Christianity and the destiny of one of history's most revered individuals, the Virgin Mary? For a millennium, her existence has been shrouded in an aura of sanctity, legend, and deep devotion. We are aware that she was present during pivotal moments in Jesus' life, from his nativity to his crucifixion and resurrection. But what transpired thereafter? Where did her earthly journey conclude? This question has perpetually eluded historians and archaeologists. Varied traditions have pointed to numerous locales: Jerusalem, Ephesus, even remote corners of Asia. And now, it seems, we have a tangible lead. Before we proceed, we kindly request your support. A like and a subscription would be most appreciated. Thank you. Decades following the crucifixion, oral traditions and alterations to sacred texts gave rise to a multitude of conflicting accounts of her demise. Some believed she merely entered a slumber, her immaculate form ascending to the heavens, as it was deemed incapable of decay. Others contended that she did not perish at all but was directly translated to the celestial realm, while a third faction posited that her final resting place was India. This continued for centuries until a collective of scholars presented a groundbreaking declaration. They had discovered an ancient sepulchre, believed by them to belong to the Virgin Mary, situated in the Kidron Valley, near the Garden of Gethsemane. This tomb had long been venerated by the Eastern Church as her ultimate sanctuary. Upon its opening for the first time in millennia, the world held its breath. However, instead of finding any remains, the investigators unearthed something that profoundly astonished everyone. The tomb was utterly vacant. This discovery seemingly substantiated one of Christianity's most enigmatic beliefs: that Mary was taken to heaven not solely in spirit, but also in body. In Catholic doctrine, this is referred to as the Assumption. Nevertheless, before delving into the specifics, it is worth noting that even within this belief, intriguing divergences exist. For instance, Catholics tend to believe that Mary did not experience death, but was immediately transported to heaven. Eastern Christians, conversely, hold that she did pass away, was interred, and then, akin to Jesus, resurrected on the third day before her ascension. These distinctions, though seemingly subtle, carry immense weight for the faithful. The belief in Mary's Assumption was officially codified in Catholicism by Pope Pius XI in 1950. This teaching is intimately linked to another dogma, the Immaculate Conception, which asserts that Mary was born without original sin. Pope Pius XII harbored the hope that this tenet would bolster people's faith in their own eventual resurrection. Intriguingly, one of the most renowned narratives associated with the Assumption emerged around the 6th century. It recounts that the Apostle Thomas, who had missed her passing, later discovered her tomb empty and that Mary herself cast down her girdle from heaven as proof. This account, frequently depicted in medieval art, formed the bedrock of many traditions, though it is not recognized as official church doctrine. Researchers highlight that while the belief in the Assumption originated quite early, its doctrinal development unfolded over centuries. According to historian Stephen Shoemaker, prior to the 5th century, there is no verifiable evidence of this belief's existence. Early Christian writings are notably silent regarding her death. This absence of information fueled numerous debates. Some championed a peaceful end, others a martyrdom, and a third group believed in a complete absence of death. Everything shifted by the 7th century when the doctrine of the Assumption gained widespread acceptance. John of Damascus wrote that the apostles found her tomb empty, which served as evidence of her ascension, Subsequently, the Feast of the Assumption found its way into the Western Church, where it eventually became known as the Assumption. Pope Leo I elevated its significance, and Nicholas I equated it with Christmas and Easter. Today, the belief in the Assumption remains a vital component of millions of lives. Catholics and Eastern Christians commemorate this day on August 15th. Orthodox Christians, for example, observe a 2-week fast to honor her death and ascension. Among Protestants, views on this event range from full acceptance to indifference. Now let us shift our focus and transport ourselves from ancient tombs to the vast expanse of the cosmos. In 1990, news reports featured sensational imagery captured by the Hubble telescope. What was discovered within these images silenced even the most skeptical scientists. The photographs revealed a colossal, luminous city suspended in space. The United States government, concerned about potential public panic, attempted to suppress these images, but it was too late. They had already disseminated online. The photographs depicted something extraordinary: immense towers, columns, caverns, and other structures that appeared to have been constructed by intelligent beings. Professor Ken Wilson of the University of Florida, while examining the blurred sections of the images, determined that they were not data transmission errors. Subsequent photography with optimized settings revealed even more astonishing details. Before the scientists lay a futuristic metropolis, radiating its own light. It seemed boundless, extending beyond the scope of human imagination. Some dubbed it the City of God, others the Heavens. One scientist even proposed that it might be the destination for souls after death. But the most remarkable aspect was that this city was not static. It was in motion, adhering to the principles of the Big Bang. It appeared to be an integral part of the universe, yet situated at its very core. The impression was that the universe was not expanding from it, but rather that everything was moving away from it. Why did NASA attempt to conceal these images? Many speculate that authorities feared inciting global chaos, as if there were something they were not meant to know. Upon closer inspection of the images, beyond the structures, entities resembling angels were observed. They were of vibrant orange hue, approximately 50 feet tall, possessing immense wings and a luminous halo. These angels seemed to pose for the camera, smiling. Astonishingly, this was not an isolated incident. A Russian scientist who collaborated with Soviet cosmonauts recounted that they too had encountered similar luminous beings in space. This narrative gained considerable traction thanks to the tabloid Weekly World News, which published it under the headline, "Hubble Photographs Heaven." While this tabloid is known for its fantastical narratives, the timeline of events it presented aligned with factual occurrences. Hubble was indeed repaired in 1993, and the initial photographs, post-repair, were taken in December of that same year. Despite this, many experts questioned the authenticity of the images, pointing to so-called diffraction spikes, lines of light that appear in photographs taken by telescopes. The pattern of these spikes is unique to each telescope, and in the images of Paradise, it did not correspond to what Hubble produced. This led many to doubt whether the photographs were genuinely taken by NASA. However, as the debates continue, Hubble itself carries on making remarkable discoveries. For instance, it has documented peculiar staircase-like patterns around a star and captured astonishing images of the Red Rectangle Nebula. This nebula, appearing as a red rectangle from Earth, actually possesses a unique structure and is filled with unusual step-like formations. At its heart lies a dying star, expelling rings of gas and dust, creating a singular pattern. Hubble, launched in 1990, operates high above the atmosphere, enabling it to capture incredibly sharp images unattainable by terrestrial telescopes. It employs a suite of instruments, including ACS and NICMOS, to capture light across various spectra. The data collected by the telescope is transmitted via satellite to Munich, Germany, where it is stored in a vast archive for scientists worldwide. Hubble is more than just an instrument. It is a symbol of collaboration between NASA and the European Space Agency. It has transformed our understanding of the universe, providing answers to many questions and, more importantly, posing new ones. With each new photograph, it adds another piece to our cosmic puzzle, reminding us that the universe is brimming with wonders yet to be discovered. As previously mentioned, the tomb in the Kidron Valley is not the sole location claiming to be Mary's final resting place. There are other, less widely known yet equally intriguing traditions passed down through generations. For example, in Turkmenistan, there exists a belief that Mary's tomb is situated in the city of Mary. This conviction stems from ancient Nestorian traditions. In northern Iraq, within the city of Nineveh, Christians believe the tomb is located near the city of Bahsai and associated with a mosque in Mosul. There is even a tradition suggesting that Mary spent her final years in India alongside the Apostle Thomas. This account, circulating as early as the 6th century, asserted that Mary passed away in the city of Mary, modern-day Turkmenistan. According to this legend, Thomas was the sole apostle who witnessed her ascension. Upon arriving at her burial site, he saw her body being lifted towards the heavens, and she dropped her girdle to him as proof. The other apostles were initially incredulous, but upon opening her tomb, they found it empty. Another prevalent theory posits that Mary spent her final years in Ephesus, in modern-day Turkey, having relocated there with the Apostle John following the persecution of Christians in Jerusalem. Historical evidence, such as the tomb of John himself in Ephesus and the fact that the first church dedicated to the Virgin Mary was constructed there, appear compelling. Furthermore, in 431, the Council of Ephesus convened, officially recognizing Mary's divine motherhood. The council attendees, in their records, mention their arrival in the city where St. John and the Blessed Virgin Mary, the Mother of God, resided. The villagers of Kiraz, descendants of early Christians, continue to pass down oral tradition that Mary died precisely there. The site they refer to as Panaya Kapulu remains a destination for annual pilgrimage. In the 19th century, German mystic Anna Catherine Emmerich, who never left Germany, described in her visions the location where Mary spent her final years. Her descriptions were so precise that two groups of scholars journeyed to Ephesus and discovered the ruins of an ancient house that perfectly matched her accounts. Today, this site, known as the House of the Virgin Mary, serves as a pilgrimage destination for both Christians and Muslims, who also hold Mary in high regard. Islam also offers its own perspective on Mary's final days. According to Islamic belief, Prophet Muhammad, during his night journey from Mecca to Jerusalem and subsequently to heaven, visited Mary's tomb. He witnessed other prophets, such as Abraham, Moses, and Jesus, gathered around her resting place. Some traditions suggest that Muhammad observed a brilliant light emanating from her tomb. Following this, Muhammad continued his celestial journey, where he once again encountered Mary, seated in a special place near the throne of God. This narrative underscores her immense significance in Islam. Through this tradition, many Muslims consider Mary's tomb a highly sacred site. This legend is so potent that its echoes can be found in cultures that believe Mary's tomb lies within their own territory. As we've previously noted, the narrative of the City of God emerged after the alleged Hubble telescope images circulated in the news in 1994. The tabloid Weekly World News published this story, claiming that astronomers had discovered a luminous city at the edge of the universe in the images. While many experts immediately approached this story with skepticism, its timeline correlated with actual events. Hubble had indeed undergone repairs in 1993, and the initial photographs following its refurbishment were captured in December of that year. However, as scientists and amateur astronomers began to scrutinize the images, they noticed something peculiar. The image displayed what are known as diffraction spikes, rays of light that emanate from bright objects like stars. These spikes are formed due to the telescope's design. For instance, Hubble has 4, while the James Webb Telescope has 6. The image of Paradise exhibited approximately a dozen such spikes, which did not align with any known telescope. This became crucial evidence that the image was fabricated. Nevertheless, this story resonated profoundly because it fell upon very fertile ground. Many individuals had long anticipated NASA or other space agencies discovering evidence of something divine in space. While we discuss fictional accounts, Hubble continues to produce genuine, breathtaking discoveries that are no less astonishing. For instance, it has documented peculiar staircase-like patterns surrounding a star. This nebula, also known as HD 4179, acquired its name because, when viewed from Earth, it appears as a red rectangle. But Hubble, owing to its unique vantage point above the atmosphere, revealed that it is actually multifaceted. At its core lies a dying star, expelling gas and dust in the form of 2 converging cones. These expulsions create incredible patterns resembling steps or a web. The study of this nebula has challenged our understanding of stellar demise, proving to be far more complex and enigmatic than initially conceived. Hubble, launched in 1990, orbits Earth, completing a revolution approximately every 97 minutes. It gathers light from stars and galaxies, generating exceptionally sharp imagery. Its uniqueness lies in its ability to perceive specific parts of the spectrum, such as ultraviolet and infrared ranges, which are inaccessible to ground-based telescopes due to Earth's atmosphere. Hubble is equipped with a comprehensive array of instruments, including the Advanced Camera for Surveys ACS and the Near-Infrared Camera and Multi-Object Spectrometer, NICMOS. The data it collects is transmitted to Earth via satellite to White Sands, New Mexico, and subsequently dispatched to an archive in Munich, where it becomes accessible to scientists globally. Hubble is not merely an instrument. It is a symbol of international collaboration between NASA and the European Space Agency. It has fundamentally altered our comprehension of the cosmos, furnishing answers to numerous inquiries and, more crucially, posing new ones. With each fresh photograph, it contributes another fragment to our celestial puzzle, reminding us that the universe teems with wonders yet to be unveiled. A heartfelt thank you to all who have stayed with us throughout this broadcast. Your support, a like, and a subscription are immensely valuable to us, and please remember to activate the notification bell to remain consistently updated with the latest news and never miss our new video releases.